Welcome back. The Artscape Theatre has expressed its joy at the lifting of the remaining COVID-19 regulations. Face masks are no longer required in indoor spaces, as well as gatherings no longer limited. The creative and arts industry has been one of the sectors that suffered immensely due to COVID-19. The Artscape Theatre is embracing this new freedom by preparing for a host of theatre productions during July. To tell us more, we have Senior Manager for Communications and Brand Management at the Artscape Theatre. She is Simone Heredin. A very good morning to you, Simone, and thank you so much for joining us. I can see with a smile on your face that you are so excited to make sure that the theatre is packed brimming. Just tell us more about that.
Absolutely, and having been to the theatre last night and going in the week again, we are really, really excited that we don't have any more regulations, we don't have any more restrictions, and can actually get back to doing our work that we were born to do. Not that we weren't doing our work in the past 2 years, because we also try to keep the theatre open as much as possible, including when during hard lockdown, when we actually had the back of the theatre open for arts practitioners to come in and do the recordings and do their live streamings, and at least earn some sort of income, because the arts and entertainment industry really bore the brunt of the past 2 years, with some of these lockdowns and regulations and restrictions. And it's actually interesting to see that people are equally excited to come to the theatre. We had a packed house last night with our woven dance production. We've got packed houses with the opera that's just opened as well. And it came, right in the good news of the opera started when we still had the regulations, and now we don't. So all our producers are really, really so exciting. And we can start hosting all these international productions that we've also featured. That's part of Artscape's fair that's always on offer. So we're actually looking forward to back to normality and a great year ahead and a great future ahead. And having just come out of the 50-year celebration of the building itself, we had the celebration last year. So this is actually, of course, for celebration. So we are there to act and give the public the arts and the theatre that they would love to have.
Simone, you mentioned bore the brunt. The arts industry definitely did bear the brunt. There was controversy with the funding that was either coming or not coming, and when it did come, it didn't come in its entirety. There was just so much going on where the arts industry is concerned. But when you say bore the brunt, just how bad was it? How bad was it for Artscape? How bad was it for theatre?
For Artscape, because we are an agency of the Department of Arts and Culture, so we were sustained with the grant that we do receive for the upkeep of the building and for the upkeep of the staff. But our hearts really go out to the artists that suffered. We know of a lot of artists, they lost all of the income. They lost, to be an artist is exactly the same as being a sports person. I was just listening to your sports bulletin a few minutes earlier. You need to practice. You need to do those warm-ups and those rehearsals and the voice and the legs and the muscles. If you're a dancer, you cannot go 2 or 3 weeks without rehearsing, without keeping those muscles toned, without keeping the voice toned as an opera singer. But a lot of artists also, they lost all the income, they lost their houses. One or two, unfortunately, even allegedly took their lives. So it's devastating to think back. And when I talk about this, I actually choke up with some tears, because obviously in the arts industry, you are, it's like a whole big family. It doesn't even matter what theatre you are from. We're like a whole big family throughout South Africa and even the world. So it's great to know that, and I'm sure these artists are all still, I think some of us are actually still in shock, like a good shock that we can get back to normal. Yeah, I think, as you can see, how excited we are, and I am, and how emotional some of us are, because it has really been a disastrous 2 years for the arts and for the arts industry.
Simone, so July is packed. July is the menu is looking amazing. So let's say Dumelo and myself are wanting to go and catch a show or two. What do you have for us?
During July, we actually have quite a few dance productions. We have Zimbini that is going to do a concert at Artscape. We also have, for the gospel lovers, we've got gospel concerts later on during the month. We've got the South African International Ballet Competition, and I just have to plug a bit of August, because August is Women's Month as well. That is the exciting thing. For 2 years, we could not have a Women's Month and a Women's Humanity Arts Festival. And we'd be able to have that big march again on the 9th of August with women and men and children. Everyone's welcome. Thousands of us walking the streets of Cape Town. And it's not a protest march, it's actually a celebratory march. And let's see, it's going to be more. We've got the Romeo and Juliet coming up later on in August. We've got Sandra Prinsloo that's going to be in dramas for us. So go onto our website, www.artscape.co.za, and look out for all these exciting productions at the theatre of choice. We are ready to welcome you with open arms.
I mean, I understand the excitement.
Even my cat's excited, you can hear.
And I can actually hear, Simone. But look, the excitement is definitely palpable and understandable. It's been a very long 2 years and some months. You know, as you mentioned, there are people who allegedly have taken their own lives. The industry has just, has been brought to its knees. But the pandemic is not gone. We are still in the pandemic. There is still something called COVID-19. There are still people, losing their lives. In fact, our next story after our interview between you and I is going to be us essentially telling South Africans how many people have died, how many infections there have been. So, although there are no masks, anymore at least, by government regulations, although restrictions have been lifted in terms of attendance, we still do need to keep safe. Are you guys as Artscape ensuring that certain practices that we've become used to, sanitizing, at least not necessarily social distancing, but understanding that people should not be too close together, are those going to be observed?
Absolutely. We will retain all the sanitizing stations, all of those safety precautions and safety regulations. And as an international theatre, we also do have a great safety backup. And if there are patrons, patrons are still welcome to wear their masks if they want to, or if they really feel that they need to, they are most welcome. If there is a patron that really feels a bit unsure or unsafe, and we do understand that there's a lot of people, COVID-19 has also affected, I think, every person. Personally, of someone that was very ill, someone that was at death's door, of someone that died. So we are cognizant of that, and on special requests, we will make special arrangements for the person if they perhaps would want to watch the production from the comfort of the theatre room, or comfort from the comfort of the comfort room. It's true. That's exactly the same. So there are those amenities that we could offer the patron if they really need to. We will absolutely see that you feel welcome and that you feel safe as well.
Simone, I'm about to let you go, but I can't do so without asking you to just please repeat where it is we can find all the shows that you guys have in store for the next July, August, and I suppose whatever else is coming afterwards. The website, please.
Yeah, we've got the fantastic Ndlovu choir coming as well in October. So the website is www.artscape.co.za, and our hashtags on all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok is Artscape Theatre.
Simone Heredine, thank you so much. Again, I can tell that the excitement on your face is there. The excitement, I think, in theatre is there. Everybody is happy that life is somewhat going back to normal, but we do appreciate the fact that you're still going to be observing and respecting the fact that COVID-19 still does exist. Thank you so much for joining us here on the South African Morning. That is Simone Heredine from the Artscape Theatre. Of course, as we did mention, COVID-19 still does exist. The numbers are still there. It is a reality. Just because, Health Minister Dr. Joe Pata said you can no longer need your mask in anywhere where you go, does not mean that we are not still living with this thing. So